warned, there will be spoilers. Today,
welcome back, gay schools and everyone in between, to our YouTube channel, The Horror Bandwagon. Hi, my name is Sergio.
And my name is Cody.
And we are boys for horror analysis,
criticism,
and spooky
and sometimes kooky
entertainment. And boy, did we need some recovering after binging Stranger Things season 4.
Mentally, physically.
Yeah, we needed like pure meditation hour where we're just like, as you've seen, and we've been seeing some of your comments. Yeah, we were very emotional. we do not hide that very well. We are very emotional people. So yeah, you get our natural reactions. But we figured that we would still keep the party going when it comes to Stranger Things. So what we're going to do, because apparently the other day they had like this big kind of get together with the cast, and they talked about things about Stranger Things.
Okay.
Spoilers included. So I was like, all right, let me hold that for a second and we'll react to it with you guys.
And to help further tie us over until July 1st, when we are going to have an all-night filmathon.
Oh, yeah.
We are also going to be handpicking some of our favorite theories from your comments and reacting to them and discussing them in a video to come very soon.
Absolutely. And so sorry, guys, if we haven't gotten to all your comments yet, but that's because we also didn't want to spoil things for ourselves.
But before we get started, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click that notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. And if you want to support the channel more, please go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thehorrorbandwagon. There we have full watch-alongs, and we're going to have a lot of fun, exclusive content coming in the next couple weeks.
We also have to give you guys a huge, huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. We have made it over 2K subscribers. Oh my God, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I really do hope that you stick around and watch all of our other reactions because we got some really, really great stuff. Remember, this is the channel where we're going to react to anything and all things horror, sci-fi horror, my life horror. No.
But seriously, it means so much to have you guys on board, and we cannot wait for you to come on the bandwagon with us.
Now, without further ado, let's get into it.
welcome everyone. I'm Felicia Day, and this is Straight.
Felicia Day looks so good.
Do I know Felicia Day? Should I know her?
You should know her.
Uh-oh. What did she do?
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, she does. She looks fierce. What are you talking about?
She's been in so many things. She's usually
you can't even pinpoint one thing right now on this day on the spot. Let's go.
She's in what's that musical movie that I made you watch with Neil Patrick Harris and Nathan Fillion, and he's Captain Hammer.
Dr. Magoo Goes Bonkers?
No, that's not the name, but you know what I'm talking about. She usually has like a much more like vibrant red hair.
It seems like she has vibrant red hair right now.
Dive deeper into Lover's Lake with swim.
Ooh, I like the brunette on Millie Bobby Brown.
Like true movie magic.
Talk with Sean Levy about directing that epic shootout.
Oh, yes.
I'm very excited to talk about that.
So good.
Roll the dice and unpack the D&D and basketball mashup to end all mashups, which is so amazing. And
oh, by the way, they actually play Dungeons and Dragons. They get the cast like the Hellfire Club.
Really?
And they play D&D.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
But I don't know if I'm willing to sit through a whole game of D&D. So Cody, I know,
yourself.
would love to watch that full.
or directly from the masterminds themselves, please welcome the Duffer Brothers, Matt and Ross. Thank you.
I finally get to see what they look like.
Can you talk a little bit about the adult themes
They
and
look
horror that have come,
normal.
like graduating the horror with the children's age?
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
Are they twins?
I don't know.
they were so little, and so one of the
Oh my God, they're babies. That's so crazy.
I know.
the quote unquote kids are now not kids anymore, and they're in high school.
I think the ones that changed the most is Mike.
Yep.
Finn. He just got more lanky and just, different and taller.
Yeah, very tall.
Movie we can put them in danger that is really scary, and we can look at, you know, some
you
of the
hear that?
movies that we love growing
They were like, oh, they're grown-ups. We can kill them off one by one.
on that age in high school. We were just trying to scare ourselves constantly.
Yeah.
And so we could
Such a
infuse
cool
some of that
scene.
in their storyline. And I think for the first time,
I love one of the Duffer Brothers outfits, which is the tan. He's in tan and the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. So good.
Some of the best memories of my life, most of them, were in middle school, occurred in middle school. High school was horrible. Okay,
no.
so for us, at least. So I have nothing.
It's so strange because I think middle school for me was awful.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think high school was not that bad, as people say. It is still pretty bad for some people.
Also, it was not fun. So it was, anyway, so it just felt like, okay, this is where you can explore.
Oh, did he get too deep? He was like, I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm not going to get into that.
Just felt, it felt right.
Did you hear me? Open the goddamn door!
I mean, this was such a cool scene because
You know
you're
what I
like,
can't wait
It just come off writing
is,
season
I know I
3
cut
and-
you off. I'm sorry.
which was our
But
fun.
I can't wait. I want to go to a convention because think of all the cosplayers who's going to be as Vecna.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
colors.
Yeah,
and-
we wanted sharp.
But as I was saying, I think that Vecna is really cool, especially in this scene because this is the first scene where you're like, is there something else here? Like something humanoid.
We didn't even get to see, like, we didn't really truly know what we were going to get once we saw that. But I kind of want, like, Vecna, like, slippers. So then I could just, like, scare you with my feet.
Oh my god.
sad, and it does get darker. And so we sort of went with that and ran with it. And
That's me while watching episode 4.
season to season go, well, let's not ignore the events that happened previously.
I've never cried so much on camera as I did episode 4. I was a mess.
I mean, there was good
I had to
reason
cover
for
my
it.
mouth because I was like,
See how they actually respond to it, and how would someone respond to something this traumatic in real life? They wouldn't be able to just shake it off and go about their normal lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I appreciated. I think I said it in the reaction that I appreciate that they're facing that they're not just like your regular like B movie 80s movie would just be like, let's forget what happened in the previous movie.
Yeah.
rough map, but it's just constantly changing. I mean, the perfect example of that is Steve. Like Steve, you know, played beautifully by Joe Keery.
He was
Beautifully played.
Yeah, it's beautiful. When you see Steve in the season 1, you're like, that guy's gonna get killed off. It's so
That was the
wonderfully
plan.
surprising. Oh, was the plan
That
to
was
kill
the
Steve?
plan.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know if was he supposed to die?
No.
Oh my god.
supposed to
I
die
just-
in the finale. Yeah.
I thought it was because I thought originally it was you know, because there's that scene where really which is the beginning of his turn, which is when he comes back in the end and he comes and ends up fighting the Demogorgon with
Yeah.
Jonathan and Nancy.
shoot.
And originally that was going to be Jonathan's dad, Lonnie. So it just, which is, it's hard to even imagine what that would have looked like. I don't remember that Steve was going to
I'm
die.
pretty
but
sure he was going to die earlier.
I
It's
mean,
been a while.
It's
But
fascinating.
anyway, that's what I'm saying.
This would be us arguing with each other. It's
like, well, you know,
post show.
I can't believe that. I honestly cannot believe that we almost did not have Steve.
Yeah, because he's such a central point to the show now. He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I mean, I say this now and forever. Like, Steve had the biggest arc as a person, going from what he was, and you kind of really hated him, but you did end up liking him, and how, I don't know, maybe we talked over it, but I feel like Joe Keery and how charming he played Steve by the end, I think maybe helped him save his role. And
Yeah.
hey, he's in the next 4 seasons. Now he's like on so many movies.
And we spent a couple weeks just going, okay, what is the Upside Down, and how did it come to be, and what monsters are in there, and all of this. And that document, it's about a 20-page document, and that really
That is cool. I want to see that.
After season 5, they need to release it. Release the document. Release it.
start getting into a little bit about the Upside Down, but we don't answer it yet. So, but we have those answers.
Ooh, we
So
don't
the-
answer it yet. We must be getting more info about the Upside Down soon.
Well, season 5. Oh, meaning the last 2 episodes?
Maybe. I hope so.
But also season
Back.
5.
What season 5 is about.
We had Billy, you know, obviously in season 2 and 3, and then season 1 we kind of had these straight, you know, typical middle school bullies, but we wanted to explore.
I wonder if fans of this show are like watching this and just like taking notes and be like, what did he mean by this?
Oh, guaranteed. There's going to be a Duffer Brothers breakdown, all the things that they mentioned,
And like what the context might be.
The death of his girlfriend, and it spins him. And all of this stuff that is inside of him that probably would have never been unlocked had that not occurred, comes spilling out. So that was for us an interesting character to explore.
And also the idea of a lot of times we introduce a new character to this world and they see these extraordinary supernatural things.
Oof.
Yeah, I forgot how brutal that was.
Those noises are so, you don't get used to them.
Yeah.
To explore also was, well, what if a character sees this and he cracks a little bit?
Yeah.
Because it's hard. How would one react to seeing something so outside of what we think reality is? And
Yeah,
so we wanted to explore that a little
That's
bit.
really interesting.
Yeah, especially because he doesn't have like the gang that we all know and love to be there to be like, hey, this is what's happening in Hawkins. Hope you're cool with it. But like he is kind of just left with his own devices, you know?
And that's how he comes up with the theory that
it's a cult. It's a
these guys are
Satan-loving
worshiping
cult.
the devil and he's given them supernatural powers.
I thought I was not gonna like the, Russian side plot story with
But I think it's good.
Hopper. But yeah, I was enthralled throughout the whole time. Like it wasn't even a moment where like, oh, okay, we're now here and I want this to hurry up. No, I really did enjoy the whole journey.
Some scenes in the USSR, definitely without love. There were a lot of brutal scenes in this.
I feel like David Harbour, I feel like he would just be your bro, you know?
Yeah.
He seems so laid back and relaxed.
We shot in a real prison outside of...
You know who he would also be good at playing? Who's that X-Men? He's not an X-Men, but it's a villain, I think. Sabretooth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he would be good at Sabretooth.
through the snows of Lithuania, and there were a lot of takes where you could see my feet, so we had to do that, and it's really not pleasant for your bare feet.
I bet. The whole time we were trying to make sure your feet were okay.
Mm-hmm.
Big journey. I don't know. Do you know what could motivate Joyce to do something that impetuous?
That is such a leading question.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, you know, when I say he is like family,
I love this look on her.
literally, they are like family. And there's no way she couldn't have gone.
Joyce, where are you going?
The bank. I'm gonna get Enzo his damn money, and we are getting Hopper back.
Okay.
Just
a
like
no-brainer
it
for
made
you.
absolute sense.
Yeah. And for Hopper, I mean, you said
It made sense for us too. Like, leave it to Joyce to do whatever she could for someone that she loves.
Yeah, Joyce does not accept no as an answer.
No. I'm going to bring him home. I love that monologue forever.
He's actually kind of like not the best to her in the beginning of the first season. Kind of grows to be on her side, but clearly you can feel.
Yeah, Hopper at first was very much like, you're crazy. Like,
I mean, can you blame him? She says that her son disappeared and then refused
I've always been
to
Team
believe
Joyce.
when the government showed up and were like, hey, we found your son's body. Here it is. And then she was like, he's in the walls of my house and he's communicating with me.
Well, when
via
you put
Christmas
it like
lights.
that, then sure.
nostalgia when you're in the makeup, the hair, because you know
Well,
I'm a kid of the '80s too. Like I
yeah.
remember that as a tiny kid.
I mean, I have a natural sort of.
I was a baby. I was so young. I
Years
was.
Beetlejuice come out? 87?
87, I think.
Yeah. So I'm like literally. I probably would have gone to the movie theater. I wouldn't have gone. Hopper wouldn't have gone.
Well,
But maybe
no.
11 would have like begged him to take her to the theater because
Yep.
she wanted to see the new.
Beret girl. Yes. Yes.
Juice for sure when I was a kid. I definitely.
I think maybe 11 will watch like Pee-wee's Playhouse in next season, right?
That would be
Because that
great.
was Tim's first movie.
I forget that Beetlejuice is like technically an 80s movie.
Oh my God.
You gotta pitch it.
Are the
to
Duffers around? Because I want that impression in season 5.
About the satanic panic. Now we're talking about like flashbacks. Do you remember the satanic?
You got that like really early on in our reactions.
I need to know, both of you, what are you particularly geeking out over? What are you particularly excited about? I'm talking to you because we just talked about World of Warcraft. So I just need to get that a little bit on tape about World of Warcraft.
Is David Harbour a nerd?
What is
in my
World
existence.
of Warcraft?
Just like
The shit out of this game. It ruined my life for like a year.
it was like one of those interactive games, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was
original
one
like
of the
PC,
like early
like,
big MMOs.
To the
What
point
character
where
did you
I
play?
remember what?
What character you play?
What was it? I was a night elf warrior.
Okay.
Called
What were you?
I never played World of Warcraft.
he was like, second tank of my my whole guild and
Oh, so you were a raider.
Oh yeah. I was like full on, and it's so funny.
Felicia Day, especially like early in her career, at least that I knew her, was like the like hot nerd that was always in stuff because she is like
nerd.
Well, because she is a nerd at heart. She does play D&D and World of Warcraft and stuff like that.
Okay, I need to know. Okay, maybe I should be read. People are gonna be in
We
the
will
comments
begin
being
your
like,
education.
They're gonna be like, "How freaking dare you spit on Felicia Day's name?" I'm sorry. Who am I? No one knows who I am.
Theater, and I wanted to like, my fantasy was like, when I grew up, to like rip out all the seats, put like a bed, like a tub, and like a bike to exercise, and just 24/7 watch movies and never leave.
Yo, Netflix.
Yeah,
you need
make
your
this
next
happen.
reality show. All you need to do is buy a theater and a bathtub and a bed and have Winona Ryder watch movies.
Yes, I'm on board.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you. I admire your work so much, both of you.
I was about to say, like, thank you so much for having me. I was like about to say it.
To see where your characters go from here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
They both die. At this point, I think I picked every single character in the cast that I think is gonna die next.
11 starts off in Lenora, California.
I love those boots. My God.
I always forget that she has an accent.
Yeah, she is British.
And she's also
There was
dealing
a post
with
somewhere that I saw that was like, we're adding another person who plays the guy who plays Eddie. They're like adding another person that like, oh my God, he's British to the cast.
Buddies. And you're a superhero.
The idea that this scene, how much this scene means now.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that like she's like, you don't say I love you, and like how she feels so strongly to have that love, how it comes back by the end of the show. It's gonna come into play at some point.
Oh, it's going to 100%.
She's gonna be like down and out, and Mike is there saying like I love you or something like that, and it's just what she needs to like sucker punch.
of Mike and 11 and putting some strain and some tension on that instead of it always being like happy.
She's also giving me like Posh Spice from the Spice Girls.
Oh yeah.
You know, Stacey and Angela.
Yeah, I will admit I misread this scene. People in the comments called me out correctly that I interpreted her reading L as when she was going by Jane, as she wanted to go by Jane. It was in fact that the flower said from Mike.
From Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes a lot more sense.
Like she's just trying to let
what can I
Mike
say?
know everything's fine. I'm fine here.
We live and we learn.
I'm actually
We do.
having way more fun.
Also, another theory that we keep missing and everyone brings it up. I know, we now know that apparently, and I don't know if you read this, but that it's Mike's birthday. No, not Mike's birthday. It's Will's birthday.
Yeah.
It's Will's birthday. You can see it in like one of the camcorders or something like that. And apparently they missed it, and also the mom missed it. So nobody remembers Will's birthday, which is just another check, which I'm wondering where they're going, besides the whole like Will being gay, at least what we think is going to happen. What else are they going to do with this character, you know?
It's a good question. I do think that she did a really good job, especially in these opening scenes of like, you can see in her face that she's like, I just want this to go well. I just want like him to think that I'm happy.
It's the older teens of Stranger Things who really get the show rolling because they are the ones with the driver's licenses. With me now are Joe Quinn, joining the cast this year as Eddie Munson, president of Hellfire and Perpetual Hawkins Sr. Maya Hogg, who's left her scooper behind to rewind at the video store as Robin Buckley. And Joe Keery, who plays the lovable slacker slash everyone's favorite babysitter, Steve Harrington. Hi, y'all.
Hey there.
Always the babysitter. Always the goddamn babysitter.
It is time to talk about friendship in the time of Vecna. Joe and Maya.
In the time of in our
friendship in our time.
Videos are falling down and like and reorganizing things, and like that was I love that stuff, and getting to do that in the beginning before we go on to film the rest of the season. Exactly what you were saying. Sort of set in like a, I don't know, like what the feeling was on the inside.
And the tone for shooting too.
Yeah.
You know, like
I like that.
Yeah.
I can definitely get what she means. Just to like have a scene where it's just about the characters and not special effects shit happening all over the place, but like get lost in the dialogue.
It's like with this show, there's so much supernatural stuff going on. You generally, you know, the setup of the show is where you kind of have more these kind of dialogue-driven scenes, and those are generally the ones that are I find the most fun to work on.
I really do I love their dynamic together in the show.
Which makes me feel that Steve is going to die. I know people don't want to face it. Of course, I'm digging myself a grave because watch it not happen and everyone's like, but they're setting it up. He's complaining about being the babysitter. He's always the babysitter. He's always doing this. Yeah. He's connected to her. But
and Dustin worships him.
But then he's also like, you know, everyone's separated and he kind of seems like on his own a little bit in this season.
Yeah.
That it makes sense that he might go.
Not yet.
Is there a possibility that you could be converted to the nerd side?
I'm open to anything.
Wow. Okay. You heard.
Just look at it lip biting like.
Scooby-Doo. I think if Spielberg and John Carpenter directed a Scooby-Doo film, it would
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Each character is very Scooby-Doo and very D&D.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has their sort of specialty and skill and mindset, and they do a good job at making, you know, setting that up.
That's a very good point.
It is.
It's like a life-size version of D&D.
Mm-hmm.
He's Fred.
You're Fred. You're Fred.
Yeah. Sure.
You're Shaggy.
Maya, what do you think? You're
Velma for sure.
In episode 6, our teens head out on Lover's Lake, where Jock Patrick has just been taken by Vecna. Steve, as
I do see Nancy as Daphne.
I do see it too.
wow, oh, I forgot how amazing this is, man.
I wonder if they've binged the show yet. You know?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Is this like one of the first few times that they've seen it, like ever?
Well, they may have filmed this like before it was officially released.
Well,
too.
yeah.
This has my favorite moment of yours in it, I think.
Reactors watching the cast of Stranger Things react to Stranger Things.
I remember Nimrod saying, "Yeah!"
That's so cool.
That's not looking good. Thank you. My underwater flash.
So, Joe, can you talk to us a little bit about filming that scene? Was it in a tank? Like, it looked.
Yeah.
It seems like you were underwater a long time.
Yeah, it was like a studio, like probably the size of. It was in a big convention center in Atlanta by the airport, and they built a tank that was probably.
This is so cool.
40 feet. It was a big circle,
Couple
40
gallons.
by. It's probably a few gallons, I think. Yeah, a few gallons.
I don't even know how much that it would be. Can't measure that.
I mean, that it looks like it's at least like 1.5, 2 million gallons. That thing probably took like 3 days to fill.
On the stage, and it was just getting to do that sort of stuff is like true movie magic.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Didn't know how to swim.
Before the first season,
I could never.
Swimmer, and in the script they're like, yeah, you're gonna be a swimmer. It's gonna be like some swim meet, You're gonna be like in a Speedo.
Just
like the
casually.
80s. It's like, oh my God, I have to like get in shape, and did all these swimming lessons, and you know, like I was paying for all this stuff, and then I showed up, and they're like, oh no, yeah, we cut that. We couldn't get back in, you know, later, so it all kind of worked. I could swim beforehand though.
Okay.
I can't.
Just so everybody knows, I'm really good.
The Starcourt Mall was burnt to a crisp in season 3. The upside of no longer having a food court where you can get terrible pretzels? The Hawkins teens are forced to hang out in our studio. Please welcome some familiar faces.
They're held hostage in the studio.
We don't let them leave.
Never go anywhere.
Gaten Matarazzo playing everyone's favorite goofy nerd, Duncan Henderson. Tria Ferguson, who plays the ever-resourceful Erica Sinclair. Sadie Sink, who plays a grieving, emotionally closed-off Max Mayfield.
Yes, Sadie!
At high school, he doesn't really feel doesn't feel as like separated from people, so he's finally.
Do you think that's just his hair, just with some extensions in the back? It looks like extensions to me.
Fun and like different, and also pretty amazing.
I would like to think that he has a full set of hair, of his own hair.
Obviously, things get much worse. Yes, we're gonna have to get into that because it's a whole deal. Gaten, Dustin seems to.
We need to know.
Your character this season, how did that feel? Did it feel good?
I think it's cool. I think it's definitely a goal of his to try and feel a little bit more confident going into high school. I think he's kind of put a little bit more.
That is true. Dustin does get a bigger leader role in this one.
Yeah,
it seems like he's really leading the pack a little bit more, which is like the him growing up. You know?
It's like him getting more confident. I mean, that was sort of like my journey. I was like a really awkward, like,
always talking about
young
yourself.
Teenager.
No.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
But like I blossomed when I went to high school, so like it's cool to see that.
So epic. I can't believe it, and I would love to show you a clip. Let's take a look.
Let's do it.
Yes.
This might be like their first time actually seeing it all.
Yeah, because they're probably super busy.
That was awesome.
That's so cool. It's the first time.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen it.
First time reaction. We've already seen it. It's fine.
Frustrating, right?
I understand why they're upset, because they're like, no, this is how you always been. This is who you are. Like, what are you doing? But you know, you never realize or you never appreciate things unless.
Especially as a teenager.
Yeah.
There's so many things I look back on and be like, man, I should have like really appreciated that moment or time. I'm just withering away.
Proving to the Hellfire Club that she is a leader and she's a problem solver, and I feel like Erica has always been a leader in the past seasons, even with the case.
I loved having more of her this season.
Me too.
It was her being a leader and stepping in for her brother.
Did you see her
to
shoes?
help out.
No, I didn't get a chance.
She's wearing these huge platforms.
Things could not be stranger for
I could
Max
rock
this
him.
season.
Yeah. I would break my ankle.
Trapped in the Mind Layer is the first glimpse that we get into Vecna's ultimate plan. We have a clip, so let's take a look.
More clips.
Oh. Still so cool.
Sadie.
Chills. I get lost in that scene.
I don't know how many, I think it might have been a week that we spent on that, or like 4 days, I guess. A lot of time spent in the harness, I guess.
Yeah.
Because she was in the air.
We did get really lucky this year because Vecna was pretty much fully practical effects, which kind of,
That's cool. Oh my gosh, I love seeing these sets.
They're so glorious.
it was pretty intense. Definitely got a little scraped up, but it was really, really
That little dot on his nose makes him kind of look like a Who.
A different version of the Grinch.
Yeah.
Jamie's like unbelievable.
Jamie's incredible.
And he had to. I mean, I only met him a few times, but from what I could hear, I mean, how long was he had to probably? If it was like a set.
Okay, cosplayers, get on this right now. I need to see your cosplays of this of like the
movie, kind of. We shot like a stoner thriller comedy kind of, while they shot like a really like a drama-filled sci-fi.
Like Harold and
horror.
Kumar on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. We did this one take action scene. It's like the shootout.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
and
amazing.
So good.
that was like a day of rehearsal, and then yeah, it was crazy.
Stay here!
We did it. I mean, we were all like, by the end of it, we were all bruised and like.
Hey there, Felicia. Sean Levy here. I am super bummed that I can't be with you doing Geeked Week all together, but very much there in spirit. I'm here in Budapest shooting my next project, but completely excited to nerd out along.
Do you want to talk about the next project? Like
the most challenging piece of directing and ultimately one of the most gratifying pieces of directing I've ever done.
It really was a tremendous scene.
It was intense. It was really intense.
So I'm reading episode 4. I come to this shootout sequence and it just felt like, oh, this should feel kinetic and this should feel real time and viscerally connected to the characters who are suddenly caught in the middle of this bedlam.
That was fast.
And I read the scene a few times. I called Matt and Ross and I was like, guys, I'm feeling Wonder. Am I crazy or am I feeling Wonder? They're like, hell.
I'm gonna say that just naturally. Babe, I'm feeling Wonder.
Oh,
I'm feeling Wonder for this one.
So inspired by this feeling that I had to try. On a movie, you take months. You literally take months of computer pre-visualizations and storyboarding and rehearsals and re-choreography. It's Stranger Things. We are, at the end of the day, we're a huge TV show, but we're a TV series. So there was no time for previs, no time for storyboards, and we had to essentially choreograph and prep that shootout while we were shooting other scenes every day. So it involved one choreography session where it was myself and my cinematographer and my AD and the stunt coordinator, and we just kind of read the scene in the house. And it was a lot of like, well, what if they come through this window? Well, what if as we're running this way, there's another gunman over here? And it was a lot of what if. And we started acting out the what if. And then the camera sees you.
Let's get back here. We gotta go!
And Joseph. Crash! Go, go. The only way I know how to direct.
Did you ever like pretend to be in an action movie when you were little?
Oh yeah,
like
of course.
this was me, like just like hiding behind the wall. Like that was my Wonder. Like as a kid, Wonder guys.
And ultimately, that's a daunting challenge, but an incredibly satisfying piece of filmmaking as a result.
I have a feeling like this scene in particular will also be like a contender for like an award.
Oh yeah, well it should be.
For you to see what else we have in store for you in Stranger Things 4. It's a doozy.
And that's our show. I am tempted.
Oh my God.
I hate teasing myself.
Horrible pun, but I'm going to settle for this. Unlocked will be back after the second and final volume of season 4 drops on July 1st.
Okay, cool.
See the Hellfire Club engage in an epic D&D battle right here on Geeked Week. See you then.
Wow.
That was fun.
That was fun. I love these little behind the scene things that they give us and gives us a chance to revisit the show, especially since it's so fresh in our mind, and kind of revisit the episodes. Because we do get lost in the show, and especially editing the reactions that we put out, you know, you get lost in each episode, and the previous episode kind of, you know, like it's already happened. It feels so long ago.
Yeah.
So revisiting that is really cool.
It also was so cool to like get to see the behind the scenes action, like that. All the ways that they filmed the shots in the lake was so cool. I would have been perfectly fine to just like get a fully behind the scenes tour of the sets and how they filmed stuff. I I'm not really surprised because of how good the effects were. That Vecna was fully physical effects, all makeup, and
I don't think he would have been as effective if he was like 100% CGI.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been. It just wouldn't have been as jarring to see because he is a scary figure, and like there's nothing I love more than practical effects.
Yeah.
I
Same.
love it. Anytime a movie or a TV show can do practical effects, I am so on board.
Yeah. I really just like am so excited to see these next 2 episodes. I'm so unhappy that we have to wait another 3 weeks.
It's only what? Okay, so time of recording this is June 10th. So we got what? 20 more days?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got about 3 weeks.
Woo! Okay.
But believe you us, we are going to be staying up.
We are going to stay up.
Watching them. We are going to deliver them to you as soon as possible.
Guys, comment down below on what you thought about this behind the scenes. Have you seen it? Was this the first time you saw it? What did you think of all like the behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah.
It didn't get really into any Easter egg things that they might have pointed out. If you guys want us to do a reaction of, maybe a video that has Easter eggs pointed out, let us know. But remember that we will be reading some of your comments in a future video. So stay tuned for that. But with that being said, we have been your source for horror analysis,
criticism,
and spooky,
and sometimes kooky
entertainment.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.